Have you ever felt like you were completely overwhelmed, overworked, and burnt out? You've got nothing left to give, and if you have to do one more thing, you might go screaming from the building, right? That's how I felt about 4 weeks ago. And that's when I let you guys know I was going to take a little bit of a break. I needed to take some time for myself and for self-care. Now, what I had recognized was I've spent all this wonderful time working for God, full-time ministry, but somehow it had become something of a performance aspect. And you may not have your own ministry, but you may be burnt out on the idea that you have to perform for God in a certain way in order to get your prayers answered, right? I know a lot of times this relationship with the Lord can turn into a kind of performance-based relationship. So I needed to move my focus from performance. And here's what I did. I did 3 different practices to restore this relationship. And the first thing that I had to do was grieve. I found that once I took some things off of my calendar and I just took some time to be with the Lord without expectation, I recognized that there was a whole lot of grief and a whole lot of emotions that I hadn't really necessarily worked out. Now, I trusted that God was going to work out all of these things. I trusted him. He's going to work out the details. He's going to put everything in place. I don't know what it's going to look like, but he's going to take care of it. Guess what? I still needed to do my part, which was grieve. I had had a loss in my family this year. There's actually several losses in my family this year, but I needed to take care to grieve all that was going on. And I wasn't doing my part if I wasn't feeling those emotions and bringing them to the Lord. The second practice that I focused on was resting. Notice I said I took some things off of my calendar. Well, it's not just physical rest, even though I did take a lot of naps. It's also resting in my relationship with God. I took the time to reflect on his character, reflect on how much he loves me, opening myself up to that, and just hanging out with him. Not basing our relationship on any kind of expectation or what he could do for me, wanting to get what's the next thing I need to do, what is it you would like have me to say, all of these things that I thought, do you want me to go here, do you want me to go there, what's the thing, what do I do? Like, I just always felt like I constantly wanted something from him, and instead of that I took the time to just be with him, have some quality time, and receive the love that he's always trying to give me on a regular basis. And the third practice that I focused on was worship. I took the time to worship God. Really, this is a practice where we are opening ourselves up to receive love from him, where we're recognizing how giant he is and how small we are and how important he is and how much of a blessing it is that he would pay attention to every detail in our lives. I love to just be able to be in my home, raise my hands to him, and then eventually I would find myself in some kind of expression of dance. I'm a dancer, it's what I do, that allows me this freedom of expression as I worship him. So this are really the 3 practices that I focused on to restore: was grieving, cleaning up my own side of the street, and feeling my emotions, resting in relationship with him without expectation, and then worshiping him and allowing myself to freely receive his love for me. I hope that one or all of those practices is something that you may be able to focus on this week. If we can do this on a regular basis, we may never get to that place of burnout, because when our relationship with him is restored and healthy, then we are able to do far more than we ever dreamed or imagined.